Hello and welcome. You join me once again on a railway adventure. I am at the Severn Valley Spring Steam Gala 2023. And I've already done quite a few things. So what follows is a montage of what I have done today and what I'm about to do today. And maybe me in between if I remember to actually film me. So, hope you enjoy.
So, my time at the gala actually began on the Saturday night with Hagley Hall at Kidderminster.
And I'm just waiting for Pendennis Castle, I think. No, it's not Pendennis. I'm making that up. It's not. You're going to be very disappointed. It's not. I am waiting for an engine. Might be the Flying Pig. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see.
It turned out to be Bullet Light Pacific Tor Valley, painted in temporary and not entirely authentic black Southern Railway livery with sunshine lettering. So the gala programme informed me. I always turn up at these things, and I never do any research. Incidentally, I think that may be the last time I remember to film me during the weekend, so you've got voice over me instead. And now that Tor Valley has arrived, Hagley Hall is now released and is able to run around her train in anticipation of a return trip to Bridgnorth. Meanwhile, Tor Valley also runs around her train. Tor Valley has finished for the day and is heading for the shed, but not before the last train departs into the night. And following a night in the hotel, I was back bright and early for the first departure of the day from Kidderminster, behind BR 5700 pannier tank 7714, pulling the local as far as Highley. It's worth mentioning that today was my first day using new microphones, and I hadn't got them set up quite right. I did manage to improve things as the day went on, I think. But anyway, soon we arrived at Arley, where we stopped to allow Hagley Hall to pass with a rather undersized non-stop train. With the line now clear, we made quick progress up to Highley, where 7714 uncoupled from the local and prepared to head north with a demonstration goods train. Meanwhile, BR Manor Class 7812 Earlstoke Manor came off the sidings and buffered up to the local, ready to return it to Kidderminster. 7714 didn't wait for me to get into a good position to catch its departure, so I focused on getting into a good position to watch Earlstoke Manor leave for Kidderminster, despite the rain. My goodness, it rained. With both trains departed, there was a brief window to look around the engine house at Highley and see the locos, and non-locos, on display, before dashing back to catch our next train of the day for Bridgnorth, being pulled by Tor Valley. And so, onwards to Bridgnorth, with a stop at Hampton Loade, while we waited for the first sighting of Guest Star Loco, GWR, Castle Class number 4079, Pendennis Castle. And then we arrived at Bridgnorth, and I got to get a better shot of the demonstration freight departing, this time heading south. Freight dispatched, Tor Valley could now run around her train and get ready for her next departure. and so it was time to head south. During this journey, I endeavoured to try various things to reduce the wind noise, with some notable improvements. We then passed a double header at Hampton Loade, pulled by British Railways 2MT 78018 and GWR Small Prairie 4555. Yeah, not 100% sorted the wind noise problem yet, but the Severn Valley is rather pretty, isn't it? Our train carried us all the way to Arley, where we disembarked in time to watch LMS Ivert 4MT 43106, bringing in the next northbound service. Followed by Tor Valley, departing for Kidderminster. Tor Valley was very quickly followed in by Earlstoke Manor, passing through briefly with the local. It was now that I took some time out to eat lunch and enjoy many of the period features of Arley Station. Prior to the arrival of our train being pulled by Pendennis Castle. The journey north was only as far as Hampton Loade, where I quickly dashed off the train and got in position ready to film LMS Ivert 43106, which was running quite late. So I needed a dash to really need that. Apparently, 4555 had been failed at Bridgnorth, which was leading to a 40 or so minute delay to the timetable, which pushed everything back, including Pendennis's departure. And so, now for a little time to explore and appreciate the delights of Hampton Loade. In particular, the delightful little paddock railway. But it's gala day, so it wasn't long until another train arrived. And this was soon followed by our next train, pulled again by Tor Valley, to once again take us up to Bridgnorth. And once again, Tor Valley took us up the line all the way to Bridgnorth, and I took some time to head up and admire the engine.
Yes, I noticed that. Can I borrow some coal, please? You got the okay?
You can find it, yeah.
And now, at this point, I was hungry. So I dashed off to the tea room to have a pie, and I missed Tor Valley leaving. But was back out to see Elstoke Manor come in with a train longer than 3 coaches. You know, just to prove it could. Elstoke Manor was very recently back in traffic for the gala after a long overhaul, I believe, and was running well, apart from a very high-pitched squeal from a minor steam leak in the cab, which I'm sure got very tiresome for the crew. So Elstoke Manor coupled up and we headed away, passing 43106 and 78018 at Hampton Loade, one of them now, I think, substituting for the failed 4555. we disembarked at Bewdley. And then Tor Valley, presumably having finished for the day, now returns north to Bridgnorth for the night. What you can see is Tor Valley, but what you can probably hear most is Earlstoke Manor's incessant squeal. Delightful. Now with the line clear, Earlstoke Manor is able to depart Kidderminster. Fist bump. Trying to ride behind as many engines as possible, visit every station and see everything running is a bit of a mission in one day. And one of my musts of the day was to travel in the L&ER teak coach set, which I managed on that last run, and was glad to have managed it, because it is a delightful place to sit. And now began a long time at Bewdley, as we are getting rather late, it's getting a bit cool, and we're definitely down to the last few trains of the day. So a lot less is happening. Bewdley is a very different station to the rest of the ones on the line, as it was once a junction for Stourport and Hartlebury, as well as to Kidderminster. Our wait was broken up by the arrival of the demonstration freight behind 7714, returning the train to be stored for the night. I do like the Massey Ferguson 35 tractor she was carrying. Loads like that helped to make it that little bit more interesting. After some more waiting, our last train of the day arrived, pulled by 78018 and 43106. Our first ride behind a double header. And so back to Kidderminster we went, passing the wildlife park and on into Kidderminster, not failing to catch a glimpse of the diesel depot as we passed, for those who like diesels. I am generally not fussy. Anything that runs on rails piques my interest. Now at Kidderminster, having disembarked for the last time of the day, we settled in to watch both engines move out from behind their train. I know it doesn't look very gamey, And it's got the high running plate, which looks a bit weird. I mean, why couldn't it physically be lower, other than practicalities of access? But yeah, something about this engine I just like. I think it might actually just be because it's slightly higgledy-piggledy, and more focused on being utilitarian than being pretty, that just for me is quite charming. I always look at this and think that this is the standard that's not a standard with its high running plate. And of course the GWR 2800-2857 is standing in the background. And here goes 43106 out from behind her train. There is still one train left to come into Kidderminster, pulled by Pendennis Castle, but the timetable is running very late. But figuring that now that Pendennis would have a relatively clear route, it surely wouldn't be that long until it arrived. So I went up to a position in the car park to await Pendennis Castle. There were still things moving around. The little miniature railway is having some maintenance taking place. The main line still has trains running. Including a Class 68 set. Nice to see. And the IVAT was still around, shunting coaches to allow Pendennis Castle both a clear road to enter into with an exit route. And now it's time for the IVAT to return to the shed. As time continued to tick on and I grew steadily hungrier, the question arose, is it still going to be light enough when Pendennis arrives to catch on film? The answer? Well, sort of. But listen to that noise. And now, it's time to hand you back over to non-narrator me to close.
Well, I promised you that I probably wouldn't do another piece to camera today because I would forget or I'd be self-conscious, and guess what? I was right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed joining me on my day at the Severn Valley Railway Spring Steam Gala. Yes, that's right, I am very tired, which is where I'm at now, and my focus now is eating some of this. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, good pizza. Why do I always end up going for pizza? You hear?